Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Informal back with another podcast for the Mr. Informal podcast. It's been a while, but there has been a lot of news as of late that we need to discuss in this podcast. Make sure to follow me in Instagram, Mr. Informal. That's MISTER Informal. Also, check out the website, MRINFORMAL.com. That's MrInformal.com. So here are the 4 topics for today. Can AI, new tech in the industry, clean up the fashion industry in regards to waste? Number 2, a lot of fashion retail brands are going bankrupt, or should I say going out of business. That's going to be interesting. And brands are burning unsold items. Yes, they are burning unsold items, not recycling it, not giving it away, but actually burning it. Last but not least, Tesla. Just by one single tweet, Elon Musk has suddenly made his company go up in stock prices because he wants to take Tesla private. So that's going to be interesting. It's a lot of tech, a lot of fashion going on in the summertime. Very hot in the summertime as of right now. And so let's get on with the Mr. Informal number 55 podcast. So I just recently read an article from L.com. So basically they were speaking about how AI, which is the new thing, the new trend in the tech industry, AI could actually clean up or make the fashion industry much more efficient, because an AI can basically control how much chemicals, how much water, how much washes. It would be much more time efficient in regards to how much can a particular clothing could have. Not only that, it could also sew, such as Adidas actually having a machine knowing how to sew and actually make shoes. So an example like that. So basically efficiency and 1% waste other than 10% waste or whatever it may be. So but they're not talking about how AI can actually clean up the trash of the fashion industry. It's just basically whatever an AI could be more efficient and use less waste. So that got me thinking, there's a limitation when it comes to AI. Okay, an AI can only sew certain parts of a clothing. Could be a straight, but I'm not entirely sure in regards to curves, in regards to certain parts of the sample, because there are certain parts of the sample that are just curves, and an AI can't just do that. You need human hands, because human hands has hands, physical hands, and also the eyes. Not only that, many overseas brands or factories are very worried is that if we use AI, then they think that a lot of these brands are just going to ship the jobs to their mainland or wherever brand is at and just produce it domestically. Because AI, you don't really need factory workers. So what's the point? So they're not willing to invest in these AI machine, because one of the reasons they're scared that they might run out of business in the next 10 or 20 years. But for me, that's a good thing, because your production is more efficient, your yield is more efficient, you can produce more garments in less time. There will still be people that you need to train. I mean, the only thing I could see is that there'll be less people, but at the same time you would still need people, because what's causing this AI thing to be integrated in the fashion industry because of fast fashion such as Forever 21, Macy's, Target, even Walmart. Because in the article, as demand for fashion shows no signs of slowing, global clothing manufacturing expected to reach sales of $1.65 trillion by 2020. The industry has been racing to put in place new tech that might save lives and ease our consciousness. Obviously, this will also save lives because we're not putting humans into certain parts of machines that they cannot handle, and they are not trained correctly, and there are machines out there that are not inspected. So when you have something like this, obviously it's less danger for a lot of humans. But AI is not yet ready. We have not reached the point of automated yet. I'm saying automated because it's AI. I do think that in the future, AI could basically produce clothes. But at the same time, I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we have the capacity. I don't think we have the technology. I think AI is just too simple. Such as there are machines that are weaving out there. It's just robotic. It's just machines weave. It's just simple. And we haven't reached the point of complexity yet. There are so many things in clothing that are so complex that only a human could do it. Not only that, there are people out there that prefer humans to make these type of items. There's something about a human making something and then sell it to other humans. It has this personal, emotional, spiritual connection. Not just some machine just making it without a soul. And that's what a lot of people are being so socially conscious nowadays when it comes to the clothing industry. And it seems like fashion is getting there, but it's still not enough. I think this may only temporarily solving the issue here. So another article I read from Retail Dive. Yeah, retaildive.com. 10 retailers at risk of bankruptcy as of quarter number 2. So check this out, right? They are in the risk of bankruptcy. So one of them is J. Crew, Neiman Marcus, J.C. Penney, Sears. I'm not surprised. GNC, yes, the General Nutrition Center, 99 cents only store. Wow, really? BB or Bebe, Pier 1 Imports, those interior items. Fred's Pharmacy, never heard of them. What else? Office Depot. So yeah, wow, as of 2018, 10 of them, and a lot of them are basically clothing brands or stores that carry clothing. So why is that? Why every year there's always a brand that always seems to file for bankruptcy? And it could be a number of things, whether it be bad management, not reacting to the market very well, not having a inventory of what's selling or what's trending or what's being viewed the most, and not adjusting to the market trends, not adjusting to the market or the industry in the future. It could be anything. But look at these brands that are soon to be closing. Neiman Marcus. I mean, have I heard of Neiman Marcus lately? I haven't heard of them doing anything new, brand new to their process, to their system. I know that J. Crew has always been in trouble, and it looks like there was a time or a point where J. Crew could have been sold, but I'm still trying to understand why they're going down. I mean, they probably bought a lot of businesses, or maybe too much stock, or maybe they're just not reacting to the market very well. I'm a fan of J. Crew, but for some reason this brand always seems to be in the risk of going bankrupt, and I still don't understand. And so look at this, JCPenney. Okay, that I understand. They haven't They haven't even had anything yet, even though they have partnership with Sephora in their stores. But again, I haven't heard of them adjusting to the market. Sears, I'm not even gonna talk about Sears. Sears is just blazing out of control right now. GNC, that was surprising to me. But I mean, look, when it all comes down to it, we all know that the market is transitioning, is always changing, or it's always adjusting. And if these brands don't have the CEO or the management, the supervisors, or even any type of team that do not market well or do not adjust well, certainly they're going to be behind. And it's going to reach to a point where the consumers are just going to leave them behind and go to somewhere else. Take their business somewhere else. Think about it. H&M's doing pretty good. Zara's doing pretty good. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, if these brands can stay on the leading edge of the industry or making profits and sales, why can't these businesses do it? It can't just be fast fashion. It can't just be a throwaway industry. I mean, there are businesses out there who can sustain themselves and have quality goods and yet have the consumers behind them. And yet, for some reason, these are the brands that are going down, and I'm not going to be surprised in the next year they actually file for bankruptcy. And as a consumer, obviously, we don't want it to happen because we're just going to have a loss of jobs, loss of business. At the same time, there's be less competition. But, in the end, they have no one to blame but themselves. And sometimes I truly wish these brands would hire competent people. Bring on someone fresh, brand new. So, third topic. So, this is at bbc.co.uk. The article states that in early July, guys, fashion brand Burberry, yes, Burberry had burned almost $40 million of stock that has caused outrage. Now, the company admitted destroying the unsold clothes, accessories, and perfume instead of selling it off cheaply in order to protect the brand's exclusivity and value. You see, this is one of the darker side of fashion. These fashion brands always talk about, especially these high-end fashion brands, always talk about charity, all the good, all the social consciousness, all the environmental approaches that they do, and yet for some reason they always do this. Now, there was a time when Burberry is popular, but now after this, hearing this, obviously a lot of consumers are not gonna like, why burn them? Heck, it's not even burning them. Just, here's what you do. You order enough items that you think is gonna sell. Not thousands. You know what? Just make it 500. Or just make it 1,000. Not anything more than that if you want exclusivity. If you also want exclusivity, limited edition. If you want exclusivity, less stock or less inventory. And Burberry is not the only victim around here, okay? Or I shouldn't say victim. It's not the only culprit. There are other brands out there that are doing this, they just don't want to admit it. But the fact that Burberry has admitted to it, I respect that. At the same time, that's terrible what they're doing. I mean, it's waste. They're not even recycling it. They're just burning it. They're not even selling it off. Heck, they're not even selling it off for charity. What is the point? And they're not even doing any auction. I mean, no wonder a lot of people have protests about the fashion industry's approach when it comes to recycling, when it comes to sustainability, when it comes to environmental causes, environmental cleanup. I mean, us consumers, it's so hard. I don't even know who's being clean, who's being not. I mean, I don't even trust any company to be environmentally friendly unless they're local or they're a small company that they're actually putting the work to make it sustainable. And yet, you would think these high-end brands have the capacity, have the money to do all those things. And yet, when you see this, it just breaks your heart. It basically gets you mad to the point where you have the budget and yet you don't want to do anything about it. And you kind of realize, you know what, if you do go down, if you do go bankrupt, then you know what, that's good, because hopefully people will learn from this. And fast fashion is also a victim of this, which is Forever 21 and other type goods. But but here's the good thing about it is that maybe they recycle, they sell it off to a wholesaler or whatever. But the approach is also not good. I mean, where do we suddenly draw the line? Oh, we're making more clothes than there are in population of the world. I mean, who buys all these clothes? I mean, I look, being in the industry, you gotta have more than a collection. You gotta have more than one closet, or you gotta have a bigger closet, the size of a 1 bedroom. And yet, we're not even being sustainable here. And I know I'm just rambling on because I still cannot find an answer. It's a struggle. I mean, how can you deal with something that we may not even have a tech? Yes, I know I just spoke about in the first topic that AI could help, but when so many brands is producing more than what they can recycle, how can you solve something like that? I mean, polyester, I mean, it takes a long time for it to degrade. Same with nylon. I mean, these things takes a long time, 100 years, 1,000 years. I mean, I just don't have an answer to it. And if you do have an answer to it, let me know. Let me know down in the comments below. So, the last topic for today is Elon Musk is thinking about, or he tweeted about, his company Tesla going private. And it caused basically a storm in the news, in stocks. His stocks of Tesla has risen to 11%. He owns 20% of Tesla, so he suddenly became a billionaire overnight, or even in 1 hour. And that's crazy. So the value of Tesla before the tweet was $58 billion. After the tweet, it became $71 billion. And it basically, I mean, we're talking about over $300 of Tesla per share. Okay, but I do have a problem with this though, and I don't have a problem of Tesla taking his company private. But what I do have a problem is not catching up to the customer orders and not shipping enough. That's my problem. I know a few coworkers that have pre-ordered the Tesla Model 3 and they still haven't got it. Apparently there's a 2-year wait. Heck, there might be a 3-year wait by now. And I do think that Elon Musk is a pioneer. He's a visionary. But he just needs to slow down and focus on Tesla, focus on the boring company, focus on SpaceX. I mean, he needs to slow down. I mean, Tesla hasn't made a profit for ever since they started, because they're getting government grants, government aids. I mean, basically taxpayer money. And if you're gonna at least take it private, that's fine, but why not at least focus on the production here? I mean, is there any way we can make production faster, or I mean, without reducing the quality, or is there any way you could slow down tweets, slow down your plans? I mean, slow down and just focus on what you have right now, and actually have the gratitude of telling your employees, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna focus on what we have right now. Let's stop taking orders or whatever it may be. Let's actually fulfill the customer's orders. I mean, there's nothing wrong with capitalism. I'm glad he could have made billions and billions of dollars in just one tweet. He also got the whole tech industry going crazy, the financial industry going crazy, the stock market going crazy. I mean, there is no doubt that this man could cause a ripple effect or a domino effect, whatever you want to call it. But we need to hear something good about what Tesla can offer in regards to customer service, in quality. I mean, it seems like every month I hear about some Tesla car going wrong, burning. There's something wrong with the battery. There's something wrong with autopilot. And I'm getting sick and tired of the car manufacturers following Tesla's suit in terms of car interiors. Enough with this touchscreen BS. Come on. We need to actually have knobs on the stereo or the dash of the car. Enough with the touchscreen. Because I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact that you're not going to update the software regularly, so what's the point? So, where does that leave us when it comes to Elon Musk and Tesla? Well, obviously the company hasn't gone private. Seems like there could be some talks, negotiation with a few big companies, whether it be SoftBank, whether it be some financial firms, whether it be some investment firms. But as of right now, one thing's for sure. The value of Tesla is worth $1 billion. Heck, next year it could be $1 trillion. And so that basically concludes the podcast 55, the 55 edition of the Mr. Informal podcast. I hope you enjoy listening to me and enjoy talking about the topics that we just spoke about, or you can say that I just spoke about. So make sure to check out my website, mrinformal.com, so for fashion and tech articles. And also follow me on Instagram at Mr. Informal. That's MISTERINFORMAL. And for the MrInformal.com, that's MRINFORMAL.com. And so I will see you in the next podcast. Bye bye.